In the last video, we set up couch co-op in Unity 6 so multiple players can join the game. But as soon as you do that, you hit the next big problem, the camera. It doesn't follow any players, so everyone can run off the screen. So in this video, we're continuing from that setup. We're going to build a shared multiplayer camera using Cinemachine Target Group that tracks all players, centers them, and automatically adjusts framing as they move. All right, before we start, we're going to double check that we have Cinemachine. We'll go up to Window, come down to Package Management, Package Manager, and then you want to click on Unity Registry, type in Cinemachine into the search bar, and when it comes up, hit Install. All right, once that completes, you can close the Package Manager window, and then we'll right-click on the hierarchy. We'll go to Cinemachine Targeted Cameras and find Target Group Camera. That'll create two new game objects, a Cinemachine Camera game object, and then a Target Group game object. And then it'll also add a Cinemachine Brain to your main camera. In the Cinemachine Camera, we can go down to the bottom and turn on the Cinemachine Group Framing component. It has an error now because we don't have anything assigned in the Target Group, but for now, we'll leave that alone. One more thing I want to do is I want to add a checker texture to the ground plane. So I'm going to go ahead and find my materials folder, and I'll right click in here and go to create material. Then I'm going to type ground plane, and in ground plane for base map, we'll just click on the slot button there and we'll find our default checker gray, and we'll just tile this 20 by 20 on the X and Y. We'll drop this onto our checker plane. Okay, so now we will create a new script. We're going to call it Multiplayer Target Group Manager. We'll right-click on the scripts folder, go to Create, select Mono Behavior Script, and we'll name this Multiplayer Target Group Manager. All right, now let's double-click to open it. All right, let's build out our Multiplayer Target Group Manager step by step. This script is going to manage players being added and removed from the target group, and that will ensure that Cinemachine can group all of our players as they are dynamically created or deleted. All right, let's get started. We have three references here. One is to our Cinemachine Target Group. As we type this, you'll notice that Visual Studio created this using statement at the top using unity.cinemachine. Make sure that that's in there, otherwise you'll get an error. These two fields affect how the target group camera frames a particular game object. Let's keep going. The awake method checks to see whether the Cinemachine target group has been assigned to this field in the inspector. If it hasn't, it attempts to find it in the project hierarchy. The register target method is public, meaning anybody can call it. It takes a transform called target and it checks whether the target is null or the target group is null. If so, it returns so that this method doesn't throw an error. Otherwise, it calls the target group add member method and it sends the target transform with the default weight and the default radius in. This adds a new member to our Cinemachine target group. The unregistered target method, again, is public, so other components can call it. It takes a transform called target in. It checks whether that's null or whether the target group is null, and it returns again if either of these are null. Otherwise, it calls a target group, and it asks it to remove the member with this transform. Now we can delete the start and update methods and save this file. Jump back into Unity. All right, next we're going to create a new script called Target Group Auto Register. Let's right-click on Scripts, go to Create Mono Behavior. Now this component will automatically register players to the Cinemachine Target Group. Let's double-click it to open it. All right, let's start by adding our references. We're going to make a private Multiplayer Target Group Manager reference. Okay, in our start method, we first try to find our manager using find first object by type and giving it the multiplayer target group manager type. This should scan our scene and find this component and assign it to our manager reference. If the manager is found, then in the start of this game object, we will send manager a request to register this target, sending our own transform in. Now I've gone ahead and deleted the update method as we won't need it. Next, we'll create the private void onDestroy method, which is part of Unity's lifecycle methods, just like start and update. This one is called anytime a game object is destroyed. Depending on the architecture of your game, if a player dies and is destroyed, then this will be called. If you don't destroy your player, then you can certainly architect this differently, so we're not using onDestroy, but maybe something like onDisable. So then we check to see if our manager exists, and if it does, then we call the unregister target method and we send in the transform for this game object. Let's hit save and jump back into Unity. So now let's update our player prefab to include this target group auto register component. So we'll just drag it in and it has nothing to set. So let's get out of our player prefab. Let's make sure that our multiplayer target group manager is assigned to our target group game object. And we can just drag in our Cinemachine Target Group right there into the Target Group slot. Okay, so now if we hit play, we should be able to see this in action. You can see the camera zooms out as the players get farther away, and the camera zooms in as they get closer. The Cinemachine Target Group is a component that lets you treat multiple objects as a single camera target. Instead of following one player, you define a group of transforms, each with a weight and a radius. The weight controls how important each target is, and the radius defines how much space they occupy. Cinemachine then calculates the center point and bounding volume for the entire group. This is perfect for local multiplayer games where you want the camera to track all players at once. As players move, join, or leave, the group updates dynamically, and the camera always has a unified target to follow. Cinemachine group framing is what makes the camera intelligently frame a target group on the screen. It works with a Cinemachine camera and a target group to automatically adjust distance, zoom, and composition. Instead of manually controlling the camera, you define rules like how much screen space should the group occupy, and Cinemachine handles the rest. As the players spread out, the camera pulls back. As they come together, it zooms in. This keeps all targets visible and maintains a clean composition without extra code. Together with the Cinemachine Target Group, this gives you a powerful production-ready multiplayer camera system in just a few components. If you want this set up without rebuilding it from scratch, I've put together a free download with a full project from this video. It includes the Cinemachine setup, the target group system, the player registration scripts, and a clean working scene you can drop into your own game. You can grab it using the link in the description. And if you want to go further, I also have a full Unity course where we build a complete local multiplayer game from scratch, including player systems, combat, cameras, and more. But start with a free download. Get this working in your project and then build from there.